Hello Pisces, and welcome to your November reading. Let's go ahead and get started here with a card from my intuitive deck. Let's see what comes through. I'm kind of getting this sense that you have been compiling a lot of things. I know it sounds very generic. You're putting a lot of things together. You're organizing things. You're planning for things. You're strategizing. You've got all of these things in place, or you're working to get things in place. And I don't think it's going to be that long before that rocket is ready to launch. I'm getting this feeling of fire and ignition, something really turning on or sparking, a lot of creativity, a lot of passion, motivation, inspiration. Now, we know that those kinds of things are fleeting, right? We don't, like when we get motivated, we're not always motivated all the time unless we have a natural personality like that, okay? We don't always have passion, and it doesn't always sustain for long periods of time, right? So this is a time to take advantage of the direction and the power with which it's moving in that direction. Take advantage of it, leverage it, make things happen. Don't be afraid to work. Don't be afraid to push yourself. Don't be afraid to focus on the things that bring fulfillment and meaning into your life. Don't be afraid to prioritize things that really matter to you. Because I don't know, it feels like something's about to take off, or maybe it currently is, or maybe you're kind of witnessing going through this take off, and finally things are finally taking off. I know having Saturn come through that 12th house can be a real hard transit. It's a real bummer. But now Saturn is in your house. Saturn stations direct on the 4th. And because we have a lot of 9th and 10th house activity, I think there's a lot of external drive for Pisces right now to really go make something, to go do something, to go be something, to change something. There's a lot of motivation. So I absolutely would say, like, if you're feeling motivated, please go for it. Please make it happen. Please don't be afraid. This is not a time to I feel like this, and then just stay at home and watching Netflix all day. All right, because I think that's going to fester a lot of regret. It's going to kind of deplete the self-confidence and the self-respect a little bit. If you're having a moment where you're like, oh, I really should do this, like just do it as much as you can, as much as you're able to do it. Because like I say, I feel like that rocket is about to launch, or it's currently in the process of launching. And it does feel delicate though. By choices and the decisions that you make on a daily basis, that rocket can either continue to ascend or it can just kind of flop. And it is fragile. There's not enough momentum right now to keep it going forward. So you have to consciously ensure that you're maintaining that momentum. Okay. Oh, make your dreams real. This came out for another sign. I can't remember which one. Aquarius, I think. Make your dreams real. The spider spirit. Make your dreams real. There is this notion of weaving this beautiful tapestry of your life, but it does require action. And I've been saying it for a couple of months now, and I'll continue to say it all the way up through Capricorn season. This is a time where we need to do what is required. We need to take action. We need to actually implement the ideas that we've been brewing around in our mind for so long. We need to be executing on things and pulling triggers and investing in things and pushing those balls forward. Make your dreams real. There is that kind of like that responsibility. You have to make it real. You can't depend on everything to just happen for you. There has to be a push coming from Pisces right now. And I think Saturn stationing direct in your sign is going to help with that a lot. I don't think Pisces is being lazy at all. I don't think Pisces is just kind of sitting there in their victim state. I mean, there might be some Pisces that you know that are doing that if you're cross-watching. But I would say the people who are working on their awareness, the people who are healing, the people who are genuinely striving to live in their purpose and a more fulfilled life will find themselves quite active and proactive with what it is they want. and to find themselves dedicated and committed to making those things happen. So, Moon card for Pisces. Nothing is yet set in stone. Now, that is both an encouragement and a warning. Like I say, it's fragile. Things are fragile right now. It's not set in stone, so it could really go any way. Either way. It could be a huge upswing or it could be a huge flop. So, choices and actions to back up those choices. When you are, now I'm not saying you have to push yourself to the point of exhaustion or, you have to deprioritize things that are actually important. I'm not saying that. But if you want a future to be insured, or you want something close to an inevitability, meaning I'm working hard enough, I'm developing enough, I'm changing enough, I'm taking enough action that it is most likely inevitable that outcome will come to fruition. Okay, if you're doing that, that's a good thing. And what you're doing is like writing in stone. But if you are pulling away from your dreams and you're shrinking and you're hiding, then the shrinking and hiding is what is going to be set in stone. And I don't think that's really what you want. This is one of those times where you have to be honest and earnest about what you want. Who do you want to be? And there can't be fluctuation. Now, I know as a mutable sign, and I'm not blaming, I'm a mutable sign too. I'm a Virgo. So I say this to all my mutables. There's so much adaptability with a mutable sign, and every day there can be a different mood, and you're really good at adapting. I don't know that this is the best time to be adaptable. I think this is a better time to be disciplined and focused. It is Scorpio season after all, and there's a lot of control and dominance that comes through this archetype. And if we can apply that control and dominance over our mind and over ourselves, right, in a healthy way, we're going to be better off. So think about what you want to be set in stone. What is it that you want to be written in stone? What is it you want your history to be? What is it that you want to look back on and realize how important these decisions mattered? Okay? So let's pull out the tarot cards, see what else comes through for Pisces here. Exactly, 10 of Coins. Hold on, I'm not going to take, actually I do, I don't want to take the top one. Okay. Seems like you have two paths in front of you. Now, you may not perceive these as being two paths. I don't necessarily know that Two of Swords feels like a crossroads specifically, but just know that there are two paths in front of you. One path leads toward the 10 of Coins, and one path leads to, let's just call it another iteration of your patterns. This is where everything changes. This is you making your dreams real. This is you with that rocket launching. This is you succeeding financially, finding the loves of your life. This is you attaining optimal health. This is you attaining career success, doing really, really well. And this is you probably just staying exactly where you are, kind of symbolically or figuratively kind of hitting yourself saying, I wish I had done that back in November of 2023. I wish I had done that at the end of the year. I wish I had. Now, this path you have to be really, really careful, because this is where bitterness and cynicism and pessimism really come into play. And I really don't think that's where Pisces wants to be. That is not a Piscean quality by any stretch of the imagination. But this is the story that is possibly being written in stone here. Okay, so what is it that you want written in stone? I would say probably 100% of you want the 10 of Coins. Now you get to inject whatever you see the 10 of coins being. You all have a different image of what life you want, what kind of house you want to live in, what kind of job, what kind of financial situation you want. We all have different scenarios, so you get to write that story here. And just know that the choices and actions that you take, and it is requiring actions, 100%, okay? They are the ones that lead you here if you make the right ones. I honestly would not include most people in this process, okay? If you're in a healthy, loving marriage or relationship, then yes, you can include your spouse or your person. But if you're not, I think this is a really private thing that Pisces has going on behind closed doors. It's very private. I don't think you should be talking about stuff. I don't think you should be talking about your 10 of coins with anyone. I think the more and more you keep this in your heart, the more and more likely you are to actually attain it. Because I think the more and more you share it, the more people are going to have a voice, the more people are going to have an opinion, the more opportunity for others to tear you down or to pull your dream away from you or whatever it is. And I don't want to see Pisces, when it's already so fragile, I don't want to... Sorry, my cats are making noise. I don't want to see Pisces get swayed into not moving toward the 10 of coins. Okay? Just because other people can't see it. What else? What else for Pisces? Let's see. Beautiful. We're talking about action, and we have a card of Aries, which is ruled by Mars, and we have a very strong Mars in the chart right now. Empress. There's a lot of abundance coming through with the Empress and the 10 of coins. These are like the epitome of what it means to have, like literally have what you want from a materialistic standpoint. But there's also a lot of spirituality that comes through the Empress. I don't want to just lock her in a box. She's not just material, okay? She's a full package card. It is being at peace, having serenity in your life, being relaxed, being comfortable, not having a lot of fear or anxiety, especially around finances, okay? There's lots of fertility that comes through here, but fertility does not have to do with pregnancy all the time, although maybe it does for you and your story, but fertility of ideas, right? You're a very fertile person. There's a gold mine inside of you. So if you're trying to build something new, or you're trying to design or develop or invent something, this is a really, really good environment in which for you to do that. Queen of Wands, again, action, Mars, super strong Mars right now. Now, when Mars comes into Sagittarius on the 24th, as we make our way near the end of November, Mars gets a little weak because he doesn't do so well in mutable signs, because mutables can just be a little too wandery. They wander. And Mars in Sagittarius can be even that much more wandering. But wandering can be good because it can be like, brainstorming and exploring and opening your mind and all of that. And that can be a good thing. But it can have like less focus. But right now, through the beginning weeks of November, there's a lot of potential for focus. There's a lot of potential for doing things through the sheer force of will. This is motivation, right? And having something worth being motivated for is obviously helpful. Now, if you're not sure what's motivating you right now, some of you, it's to have or attain something. Others of you, it's your children, right? Your children can motivate you. Some of you have things that you want to get out of, and that can also be motivating. So we all have different motivators, but it is important for you to understand what exactly is motivating you, and to ask yourself if it is actually strong enough to help you to sustain things, especially once Mars gets into Sagittarius, because that tendency to kind of get off track is going to be pretty strong. But Saturn in your sign is helping you a lot. Saturn in your sign does not want you to wander and go all over the place. It wants you to establish some semblance of a structure that can be built upon over the long term for the next 30 years until he comes back into your sign again. 28, 29 years to be more specific, okay? And here we have the Five of Wands directly underneath the Five of Swords. Truly, there is something going on with other people. Now, there might be stuff going on at the office. I often see office politics and sibling issues in the Five of Wands. Okay, so there might be something going on there. There could be some relationship stuff, like if you have an ex that you're trying to deal with, or if there's some kind of a person or a party that is a bit of a nuisance in your life, you could be dealing with some of that. And this can be really frustrating for a Pisces, especially when they're like, oh, but I really just want to focus on the things that feel good. I want to focus on my big goals. This can feel like you're torn in half. You know, there does seem to be something like that with that Two of Swords at the top, feeling like you're torn in half. Because maybe this isn't something you can just ignore. You can't just walk away from it. But the real question is how involved do you have to be really? Because sometimes we think we need to get involved, or we need to be a part of it, or, oh, it's my family, it's my blood, I have to, or it's, oh, it's this. But maybe you don't really have to. My question is are you projecting importance onto this? Or is it really important for you to get involved? Like, let's say you're a boss and you work and you have like employees underneath you. You're a manager of some sort. Well, obviously, this is going to be your problem because this is technically your livelihood. So yeah, you will have to deal with that. But many of you may not have to. You might actually be able to ignore it because it's not your problem. And you can simplify your life a lot by just simply not getting involved. Now, I'm not advocating for you to abdicate your responsibilities. If this is a responsibility, obviously, like I say with the manager example, I'm not trying to tell you to ignore stuff that shouldn't be ignored. So you have to be smart about it. You have to know. But sometimes it's like let's say your mother and your brother fight all the time. Is that your problem to get involved with that? Is it your problem to talk them through it? Is it really your responsibility? Are you the one that always has to keep the peace? Are you the one that has to mediate? I see Pisces in the middle a lot of times. You don't have to be there. And I think that's a part of the Five of Swords. It just kind of steals the joy out of what's going on for you. And this is where it's so fragile. It's important to understand that you're in a fragile place and you want that momentum to get stronger and stronger and stronger so it's not so fragile. So it does become set in stone, right? Because the more momentum you have, it's pretty secure, it's pretty strong. And these are absolutely things you want to be set in stone. So if it's so fragile that this can pull you off track, then all the more reason for you to stay far, far, far away as much as you can. Okay? All right. What else, Pisces? King of Cups. Justice. Okay. All right. This reading is clearly separated. Okay. It is so obvious to me that this third column here is like its own thing. Okay. This stuff has nothing to do with this stuff, although it actually has everything to do with it because this is the potential adversary. I don't normally mind. Well, Knight of Swords it's very extreme for me. I either really, really like it or I really, really don't. I don't like it in this reading because this is someone who absolutely is trying to demand stuff from you. And you're going to need to figure out whether or not this person's demands are truly your responsibility or not. They may be demanding time. They may be demanding money. They may be demanding that you give up your dream. If you're in an unhealthy relationship or something, I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of demands coming from that Knight of Swords. or they're trying to cling on to it or try to be a part of it or something. And they do have an air of anger, or they have an air of jealousy or resentment. They're trying to cling. It's very easy for people who are sitting on these thrones here like this to get these Klingons. It's what happens when something good is going on in your life. It's like they always say moths are attracted to the light. If you're going to be a light in this world, you've got to expect that you're going to attract a few moths. Yeah, because you're out here trying to make your dreams real. You're out here trying to make decisions that matter and have a substantial impact on the quality of your life and the life of those that you love. And I look at this King of Cups, and what I see when I look at him is someone who is able to withstand an emotional storm. With the Justice card, this is like Stoicism. Now, it doesn't mean you don't have feelings or emotion. We all have feelings and emotion. You can certainly allow yourself to feel those things, but it's about feeling and emoting, but also still continuing to act in your own best interest. Okay, one thing I like about Saturn and the way it's helping Pisces is through establishing strong boundaries. And we know that stereotypically, now I'm not suggesting this is true for every Pisces out there, because I know it's not, but there are many Pisces who do struggle with boundaries because that's the essence of the archetype. It's boundlessness. There are no boundaries in this archetype. This is clearly someone who's not respecting a boundary. They're clearly not respecting your time. They're clearly not respecting your choices. So you are going to have to establish a very strong boundary, especially when you realize how fragile this actually is. Because there are going to be a lot of Pisces that give up on their 10 of coins and their Empress stuff. They're going to give up to appease a Knight of Swords. Happens all the time. Okay, this is a simple codependent type of thing, or it's a kind of a situation where you don't want to alienate people, or you don't want to let other people down, or whatever the case is. You deprioritize yourself and you prioritize the desires and needs of someone else. But the problem with the Knight of Swords is that their needs are selfish. And I only say that because of the Five of Swords. They've got selfish needs and they're doing it for selfish reasons, and it's not really going to help you. So I like the fact that Justice is right in between, because it enables you to think critically. And I do think you will be thinking critically and logically. Now, Mercury is going to come into Sagittarius on the 10th. Technically, this is Mercury's detriment, okay, because it rules Gemini, so it's in the sign opposite that it rules, so it's in detriment. But I don't know. I don't really mind Mercury in Sagittarius, because there's a lot of direct communication that comes through with that placement. There's also a lot of open-mindedness. And with open-mindedness, you can really take a step back. You can zoom out on what's going on here, and you can tap into your little Pisces psychology mind, because we know y'all are all psychologists, and you can really see what's motivating this person, understand where they're coming from, and again, not make it your problem. They may try to make it your problem, but it's not. Okay? All right, let's pull out the clarifiers. So for those of you who are new, I'm going to pull out a whole bunch of new cards, and we're going to talk about these in the comprehensive reading. And the link for the comprehensive reading is found in the description box in the comment thread down below. So if you want to join me, you are more than welcome. So starting with the Spider Spirit, beautiful Magician. There's the Spark, Four of Swords, and another Queen of Wands. So we got two Queen of Wands. I actually feel like that card. Three of Swords. This is the environment. Ace of Coins. Five of Coins. Yeah, the environment. Look at all these fives. Five of Swords, Five of Wands, Five of Coins. Fives are rough cards, for sure. Take a look at the 10 of Coins. What comes through here? Another Queen of Wands. Okay, so she's definitely making a statement. Queen of Coins. Knight of Cups, and there's the Pisces card. Beautiful. Another Empress card. Eight of Swords. Two blindfold cards. And the Star. I'm really worried about that. I don't know, the Ace of Coins feels weird to me. We'll talk about it. Beautiful. The World. Another Four of Swords. Eight of Coins. Not surprised by that card. Knight of Swords. I like this Knight of Swords a lot better than I like that one. Feels more mature to me. Another Five of Coins and an Ace of Swords. Three of Wands. I'm definitely not seeing involvement. Four of Wands. Temperance, beautiful. Discipline, cool. Stoicism, Six of Wands and Knight of Wands. Seven of Wands, Six of Coins. Oh gosh, if I could shuffle here. And the Chariot. Nine of Coins, the Hanged Man. Ace of Cups. Hold on, I kind of saw that one too. Justice again. Okay. All right, so this is where we're going to pick up in the comprehensive. So if you want to join me, you're welcome. Again, all the info in the description box and the comment thread down below. Thank you so much, Pisces. I love you. Have a great month, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.